What do you get when you put two Minnesotans and a guy from Wisconsin together? Twist. The weekend sports talk. Get ready for some sports chatter where there's sure to be laughing, arguing, and maybe even crying. Now, here are your hosts, Mike Reeves, Matt Benz, and Greg Green Bay Bauman.
God bless America, dude. We're here.
My equilibrium's fucked.
It's shifty. Now, if you're watching at home, gang, instead of the audio, we're transitioning, all right? In 2024, we're transitioning. Just respect the transition.
I'm you guys are worried about the podcast. Look, Matt, put your microphone down or step away from it for a second. Dude, look at him.
Oh, dude.
He walks in here and I'm like, he's expecting to hand him my license and registration. It's like you look like my dad from 1982.
He does. He has the
seriously
the tie dye, the stash.
No big deal, dude. License and registration, baby.
Yeah,
Let's go.
you look like you just got.
Mike looks great too. It's not.
No, I'm talking about the mustache. Seriously, you look like you play softball 4 nights a week, and
I chew at least a tin a day.
Yeah.
At least a tin a day.
Yeah, and you're yelling at all the inmates because you're a correctional officer and you got to get off at 4 because
what a great gig. A CO. You're basically a babysitter of men.
Yep.
As long as you turn the volume up when the inmates ask and you change the channel, no problems.
Yeah,
No problem.
I used to envy them for sure.
Oh,
What
you
a great
walk
gig.
around.
They
press your
literally
button,
do nothing.
You do
It
nothing
would be boring though.
until some dude gets in your grill,
Well,
which I've seen.
There was one guy that one of his name was Ron.
Oh yeah, there's
And
always a Ron.
him and so every morning there would be 2 Star Tribunes that were brought into the main area. He would grab the crossword puzzle out of both of them.
Hand you one.
He would have one for himself, and then he had me one, and we would compete.
Yeah.
To see who could get it done first.
Do you know the great part about that story is that's in every jail pod around the world, and it's the 2 oldest guys in the pod. Speaking of, happy birthday,
Absolutely.
Greggy. Welcome back.
Happy belated. Yep.
36 and a half. Looks good on you.
36 and a half. I appreciate that. I've been told I was 75.
Well, Connor. Yeah. That'll happen.
That's what my birthday cake said.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Have a little fun
Happy
with me.
75th.
Yeah, that's what the birthday cake
From
said.
it should have said from the Twist Boys.
Oh, my God. That's great.
But no, I'm 4 dozen years old.
4 dozen. Good dozen.
Yeah.
About 25 summers left.
I figure.
What are you figuring?
What do you
did
think
the
you
math.
can hit? 70?
Once I get to 70, I'm on God's time.
That's what I said. I
Yeah.
told Taylor my goal is 75. That's 10 years of retirement.
Yeah.
After that point, it's all downhill.
Yeah.
75 would be good.
75 is a great run.
Yeah.
I've been shooting meth in my arms. Come on.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd like to hit 40. Let's just start there.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't,
that's true.
accidents. I could leave here,
That's
I
true.
just let's get through the day.
Yeah.
That's a
you
good
know.
point. Yeah.
75, we're reaching a little
Yeah.
bit.
At some point, it's like, I want to get to 75, but I'd really like to get to 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the
There
way
you go.
the way Elon's creating shit, we might be living forever. Did you see that chip he did?
Well, yeah. Neuralink.
Yeah.
So, yep. They just started the first trials of that. That's going to be awesome.
Are you on that, Greg? You on the trial?
You should get chipped. We should get you a Neuralink.
Why?
Because basically you would be Google.
Because you're already sliding down. You
would have
missed an
access-
episode number a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you're losing it.
You would have access to everything.
That's what I need. Last night, we watched Phenomenon with John Travolta, Keira
Oh
Sedgwick.
my
What
God.
are you doing? What kind of-
1993.
Watch Michael tonight. Why don't you watch that? Jeez,
Yeah.
Greg.
It's
That's a
this-
great movie.
And the whole time I was thinking to myself, like, man, this would be cool to just have unlimited brain capacity, knowledge, the ability to just retain everything.
And that's what they're really worried about is
Watch
the
Limitless.
first 5 people that get this Neuralink,
I'm in.
they're basically going to be looked at as Messiah gods. They will be gods.
See, but-
That's the scary part.
well, see, and then everyone's like, how can they improve mankind? I'm like, I could get on Jeopardy.
yeah, you'll get on the initials and you'll just you'll know all the initials.
Yeah.
and
Greg.
everything. That's
He'll know
awesome.
the initials before they're coming.
Yeah,
Win that money that way too.
that's
So-
good.
Yeah. So here's the thing. With my advanced age,
Yeah,
I got a lot of freaking issues going on right now.
you had 'em.
Some are
So, yeah.
some are sports related. Some
Okay.
are just like regular everything going on.
Culture,
Yeah, just shit going
the
on.
State of
And
the
it-
Union.
And honestly, it
You're
was
on
like,
your front porch about to just start complaining.
oh, absolutely.
Okay.
But it's like, but you know me, I'm organized enough that I had a notepad
Good.
in my, and then when something bothered me, I just wrote it down. I'm
All
like,
right.
I gotta. This is gonna be like my therapy. Right? I just need to vent about shit.
So you've been doing what we've supposed to be doing for the show
Prepping.
for the whole time.
Yeah,
that I've
pretty
never
much.
Done.
Yeah,
So that's good. I'm glad that you've done it.
Yeah.
And it worked.
He called me yesterday and he goes, I got all this stuff. And I said, Greg, since we've started at Absolute, I did years and years of prep. I said, I don't prep anymore.
Yeah.
I come here and I set up.
Yeah,
I'm the setup guy.
Hopefully it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we got.
Cross my fingers. We finally have a good camera again. You know, we're in the basement now. We got in
chemistry's
trouble.
there. You just gotta sit down and record it.
Yep. So we're
I'm glad,
good. So
Greg.
fire away, Greg.
Yeah, well, next episode, I don't think I'm gonna be part of.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be over there playing Tecmo Bowl.
Well, that's what I'm
I
saying.
know it didn't even hit the shot.
Yeah,
So for those that don't know, Tech Mobile over behind us, then we got a bunch of bobbleheads. You got to stop into Absolute Sports and Savage. First and foremost, they sponsor the show, so you should support them. They got everything you need when it comes to sports memorabilia, cards. If he doesn't have it, he can find it. Mike's the great guy. So stop in downtown Savage, Minnesota, Absolute Sports Cards. Or if you're on eBay and you just want to, surf eBay, he's got a great listings on there as well. Absolute Sports Cards.
and
Get it.
here's the other thing too: is if
Yeah.
you are looking for a birthday present for like a teenage boy,
Perfect.
and you don't want to get into like, oh, what cards do they want?
Perfect.
There's so much stuff here that's
Yeah.
like not cards,
And it's not taking out a mortgage to buy.
yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
yeah, it's anything
Whatever
from
your price range from $5 up.
bobbleheads to.
And if you're a klepto and you come in and you steal something,
We'll fucking hunt you,
you
down.
call our
just
other
fucking know
sponsor, Daily Defense Law.
that. That's right.
oh yeah,
Well, no, if you not from here, if you're out and about and somebody hits your car and then you beat the shit out of them, call Daily Defense.
Yep.
all right?
He's
He'll
in
bail you
jails
out.
right now.
he's what?
He's in jail?
Yep. He's on the blue deal. So you can see his ad when you're in jail now.
Oh, but he's not a public defender. He's just
It's an ad.
he's a referred.
Yep. It was
preferred
on his
customer.
Snap. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
He's
Where's
a
that? He's
preferred
like,
vendor.
He's
Yeah.
like
from
he's,
the jails.
he's like the guy like if you get thrown into jail and you're like dad or rich uncle's like I'm gonna take care of this, and then that's who they call because they got some coin. By the way, when OJ died the other day,
Expired juice. Yeah.
it was so funny because of everyone on the planet, Daily on Facebook, he's acquitted.
Yeah. By the way, so everybody remembers, you remember when Abe Lincoln was assassinated, right?
I was there.
Everybody remembers where they
Great
were
play. Yeah.
with OJ. And I
I don't.
I was
What
in
year was that?
It was 94. I just
Okay, so
graduated
I
from
was
high school.
4.
I was
Those
in
4 bells.
4th grade, I believe, and we listened to it on the radio. And me and one other kid, when he was acquitted, cheered.
Good for you, Mike.
We cheered
you
for
were
him.
progressive back
I
then.
was.
Good for
Yes,
you, man.
the glove didn't fit. Come on.
Yeah, it didn't
Everybody else was like, I'm pretty sure my teacher asked me to leave.
And then, for me being 4 and not knowing what happened and then learning more about it, it's like, well, Rodney, or who was it?
Rodney King.
Rodney
Yeah.
King.
Yeah. And my cousin just commented on my thing on Facebook, and he goes, "This is just payback for Rodney King," and it is.
Sure, of course it was.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
No worries.
I mean, same thing happened here.
yeah, similar all over. Now there's another one in Chicago where the guy fired at cops and they got it on the body cam footage, and he ended up getting killed.
Yeah.
And his mom proceeded to go on all the news that he was just driving. My boy was just driving. And then she fake faints. It's like a shout out to Chappelle. It's a Chappelle show, dude. It's all over again. We have lost it.
So
We have lost it.
I'm gonna switch up the order
Okay,
of this
you're
stuff
shuffling?
based on the way we're talking about this.
All right.
So, women's basketball.
Oh, women's hoops.
So obviously the most amazing ratings ever. 18.9 million people watched the championship game.
Allegedly.
Okay,
Yep.
so
Yep.
Anyway.
First time where the championship for the March Madness had more viewers for women than men.
yes,
Yes.
and so
Thanks to one person. Not
Ye-
because
well,
of the
okay,
sport.
yes,
Sure.
yes.
Or 2. But yeah.
Here's the thing though. So
Yeah.
after Angel Reese was complaining that she was, people
Sure.
were talking shit about her.
Yep.
Angel Reese
Heavy lies
being
the crown. Yeah.
Angel Reese being an African American player for the LSU Tigers. They played in the to get to the Final Four. So
Yeah.
a week ago. Anyway,
They're
here's-
probably top NIL earner
yes.
Yeah.
Now here's also nicknamed the Bayou Barbie.
that she took in last year.
Yes, she.
I like it.
She
She got the plays with
Taylor
those
liked
big
it
ass
too.
lashes.
Taylor liked it too. It's smart.
Marketing.
Yeah.
That's great.
So here's my thing. You do not have equality in any walk of life by just becoming part of something. Like back in the day, let's just say 70s. In the 70s, the whole idea of being homosexual came out. People were afraid to be ostracized. It wasn't when they let the first homosexual couple get married that made them inclusive.
Okay.
It was when they got their civil unions and they got a divorce. So
Okay.
Angel Reese, my point is, it's not that women's basketball is being popular and more people doing it. It's that she's now being treated like me and Matt when we talk about LeBron. He's a whiny little bitch about how you talk about Patrick Mahomes. He whines about every call. You know, all these
Yeah.
guys, when you start equating them and giving them the same positive and negative treatment, that's when you have equality.
Yes.
So my point is, she should embrace this,
Right.
and society should embrace this, because this is her getting slammed by Emmanuel Ocho saying you can't stand on the pedestal and
You
be the
can't
big
the villain.
you can't be the big bad wolf.
Yes.
And then when and the what is it, the cowardly lion at the
Yeah.
same time.
Right.
So my point is that if you want equality in any walk of life,
Yep.
you should embrace how she's being treated right now, because she's now being treated like every other star athlete. She's under a microscope being scrutinized for positive and negative things about her personality. And that's what equality is.
Yeah.
Equality isn't you're now going to get this because you didn't get this before. It's you get the same treatment as
Yeah.
everyone else.
And that's you see it all the time, when people want to play, white privilege or the black card per se, it's like that is an equality, because anytime any color brings up color,
Yeah.
you throw equality out the door,
Yeah.
because you're either saying that you're not being treated as an equal, or that you want to be treated differently.
Yeah.
And it's like most of the time it has, honestly, in 2024, what I see on a daily basis is most people are not judged on the color of their skin, but how they respect and treat other people.
Yes.
And the color thing, I get it. And it's easy for me to say white, middle-aged male.
Yeah.
I get it.
With a stash.
I get it.
Yeah.
I had privilege,
Look at that
and I
mustache.
used it because I had it.
Yeah.
Okay. You're talking to a felon. You talk multiple things. I probably wouldn't be where I'm at without it, but it is what it is.
Here's the thing with Angel Reese.
Angel Reese.
She took her last of her 15 minutes and used it. She is now irrelevant.
Well, you
Yeah.
think so?
She-
Hold on, Greggy. I'm irrelevant.
She is now irrelevant.
Shaquille O'Neal
The
yesterday.
WNBA
Yep.
gets 0 ratings,
Sure.
none.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She's not going to be the one that pushes any. Even when Caitlin Clark goes to the WNBA, it will still suck
Sure.
because it sucks as a whole. They get 4,000 people maybe to a game. So
Yeah.
is that really equality?
But see,
Oh,
but-
go ahead, Greg.
well, all this, first of all, it's like 36 of her 40 games, Caitlin Clark's games, are already going to be on national TV. All of her home games are sold out, and most of her away games. And she won't even get drafted to Indiana until Monday. That's how
Sold
popular-
out. The stadium's sold out.
They call it sold out.
Season
It's the bottom
tickets.
bowl.
Okay.
So which is good enough. That's fine.
Sure.
That's
sure.
fine.
And maybe that's what it takes for it to take the next level.
And see,
Because it's all about marketing.
yes. Now Angel Reese is expected to get drafted by the Minnesota Lynx,
Really?
the 7th pick.
All right.
Now I'm not an expert on women's pro basketball,
I don't think there
obviously,
is any.
but she is. Her body size is apparently very weird for the NBA. She could be a 3, could be a 4.
Yeah, won't
So she drops down a few spots to a team that just needs depth.
Yeah.
And that's what they say. She'd be a good fit for
Sure.
for Minnesota. But my thing is, the reason why I believe Caitlin Clark is so popular is because she's exactly like Steph Curry, and why my 13-year-old son right now is at a gym at 7:00 in the morning. She looks like everybody else.
Yeah.
Steph Curry looks like all of us. Take away the skin color. He looks like all of us. Caitlin Clark is not a supermodel. She's
Not
not
even look.
She's
It's
not a
even
sick-
look. It's act. They
Yes.
act like all of us.
But okay,
Wholesome.
Yes, they
she's
act
she's
that
not a
way.
supermodel. She's not 6
That's what I'm
foot
saying.
8
She's
like
a banger.
Brittany Griner.
Caitlin Clark's a
She-
banger.
So when you look at Caitlin Clark and you see her shooting, just like when you see Steph,
Yep.
you think to yourself, with enough practice, I can do that. With all the practice in the world, I'm never going to be as big as Shaquille O'Neal. Either is my son.
Yeah.
But what she has is obtainable
Sure.
if you want to work hard enough.
Yep.
That's why she's so endearing.
Okay.
So
So then
that's
you have Shaquille O'Neal yesterday
what's
on
up.
ESPN. They were talking about Angel Reese, and he says that Angel Reese is undoubtedly the most talented athlete to ever come out of LSU.
Now, okay,
Get woke.
okay,
Get woke, ESPN.
Okay.
How?
here's the thing.
Yeah, with
This
Jaden
is-
Daniels being drafted this year, I think he's a little
Not
bit
even.
more
You
athletic.
could start there. Justin Jefferson.
I know.
How about Joe
Joe
Burrow?
Burrow.
Yeah.
The
Shaquille
athletic.
O'Neal.
okay.
And that's why he
You see what I'm
said
saying?
it, because he knows
But
it's going to get
It's
headlines.
just it's just to appease the
Yes.
fucking narrative.
Yeah.
And that's what's so shitty is because you have Caitlin Clark who did what she did, and then you have Diana Taurasi who fucking throws it and says, "Yeah, wait until you come
Yeah,
play
you're
with
playing
some
with kids."
grown ladies."
Yeah.
And it's like you are supposed to be the power of women.
Right.
You're supposed to
What is
pick
this
each other
empowerment?
up.
Yeah.
And no, you set this bar. You set this bar of like, okay, and it's easy. Like, what are you talking about? She played in the Big Ten. Okay, so even for women's college basketball, it's still very competitive and it's very a higher level than somebody playing at,
And they made it to the national championship again.
that's
I don't
Here's-
care where you come from; it's where you get to.
Here's the problem with Diana Taurasi, whom, by the way, I hate.
sure.
Weird.
Yeah.
She was Caitlin Clark
Correct.
In a
before
way, yeah.
10 years ago.
From a
Yeah.
bigger program. But
Yes.
Yeah.
And now she's completely irrelevant and hasn't been heard of in 10 years.
Right.
Not
they
one
clout-
person
none of
knows
them.
about her.
Right.
None of them do.
So when you put a microphone in front of all these people who
Yep.
used to be the cream of the crop and then
Yeah.
they're irrelevant for 10 years,
Right.
she wants her, when Mike said that Angel Reese used up her last 15 minutes of fame,
Sure.
Diana Taurasi's like, you mean that you can reset this clock?
Well, she knows too that I can take a shot, and anytime I'm around Caitlin Clark in the future,
It's
going
gonna bring up the name.
headline.
Think about this though.
Yeah.
Brittany Griner,
Yes.
huge in college.
Yes.
You heard about her in college, and you heard about her in Russia.
That's it. Yeah.
Russian prison.
That's
But
it.
She
Yeah.
was huge in college just because she was literally huge.
But exactly, but she
Yeah.
was she was all over. Brittany,
Yeah.
Brittany.
yeah, that Angel. Oh, so that's why you're saying that comp.
Yes,
Yeah, I
because
get that
there's
comp.
no in between for these women.
Yeah.
They make no money. They play in the WNBA, then they go to China or Australia or wherever they can get money to
Mhm.
play.
But then ESPN will ask Angel Reese, hey, in 5 years, hey, why don't you just get your own show on ESPN?
Yeah.
We
or-
would love to give
Yeah.
you your own space. You have so much good things to say. You're so in tune with mental health. Come on in.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not the case in 5 years, and hopefully this narrative is just dog shit, and we can finally cleanse.
Well, we'll be
Well, we'll
okay.
see.
We'll be okay after the
But
first
Caitlin Clark's
after the
good
first
for her.
Tuesday in November.
you
I
know,
think
maybe I do hope Caitlin Clark, they can bring a face, they can bring some marketability, because
So
that's
if
all
you're
it
Caitlin
takes.
Clark, why don't you take the 10 mil from the big three and go play with the big three for a year?
because if you stay as mainstream as possible, so if you're on in the WNBA, and now I get it, the average WNBA star makes $76,000 a year. The top makes $200,000 a year.
Yeah, so
She ain't
go
gonna
get
make
that.
shit. She could have made $10 million
It's just
playing an
one
ice.
year.
Yeah, playing an Ice Cubes thing. I get that, but if she stays relevant, she becomes like bigger than Rebecca Lobo, bigger than any woman that has ever
I get it.
played a sport. And here's the other thing about, not only does she look like anyone normal, she, blah, blah, blah. I know that this is going to sound stupid. She's also straight,
Yeah.
which is also very rare when you get to
Yeah, she's
women's
not
professional sports.
Rapinoe,
And she
yeah.
promotes it.
Right.
There's pictures of her with her boyfriend
Yep.
wearing a dress, being feminine.
Yeah.
So the reason why they're going to throw all these endorsements at her
Yep.
is because she's appealing to a wider audience. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
straight women in professional sports is the minority.
Believe it or not, though, the majority of people watching her in the championship were men.
Oh, sure.
That's what I'm saying, though. So
But
why
what-
wouldn't you go pay for your target market, really?
Because it's off brand.
But
It
what's-
is, but it's a season.
But you
It's,
know
not,
what?
it's not a brand though.
But you know who knows who Caitlin Clark is? Who wouldn't have known who Caitlin Clark is if it wasn't for her straight husband who promoted? My wife. She had no interest, no care, and I talked about it a couple of times. Now she's looking up because now she's being promoted to a different audience
I
of
get
people.
it. I get why if I was her, I'd go to the WNBA because you hopefully want to give the little girl the dream of and being that role model, and hopefully she can raise the sport. It's just fucking hard, man.
Yeah.
It's hard because even less and less people watch the NBA, which nobody would really realize that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's tough.
Yeah.
Nobody has the attention.
Cat
span
was
for
back
these
last
things.
night though.
Thank God.
Let's go.
Howl, baby. Howl. I love it.
What else you got?
That
So
was good, Greggy.
Yeah.
I like it.
so here's the thing that really set me off.
Okay.
I'm driving my car at work, and like I do.
Yep.
And
Like I do.
all of a sudden on my phone, when I have the old GPS on, ESPN Blockbuster Trade. So what do I
That's a
do?
good one. Yeah.
I pull over. I want to see Blockbuster Trade. Who's
Of
involved?
course you do. You're not looking at your phone while you're. Yeah, you got to pull.
Yeah, I got to pull over. I
Company
got
car.
to suck this up.
company car.
Steph Diggs is traded for
Yeah.
a second round pick and then future fifths and sixths and 20. And this wasn't even this year. It's 2025.
Sure.
So I want to put a moratorium on the ability to use the word blockbuster trade
Sure.
unless now I'm not just coming to you guys with nothing. I got
Okay.
solutions.
Oh,
Number one, both teams have to sacrifice a first round pick. Doesn't have to be in the first year. I mean, at least
both
one.
teams.
Both teams involved in a trade.
Yeah.
Have to-
if it's a blockbuster.
If it's a block, if you want to be able to use the word blockbuster,
but they
you-
don't. The teams don't use it. The journalists.
Yeah.
That's-
So
yeah.
when Tyreek Hill got traded, that was a
I'm
blockbuster.
not done yet.
Okay, but
Okay.
they didn't give up a first.
What's that?
You said both teams need to give up a first.
Both teams need to give up a first in any year. It can be future years, or one team has to give up a first, and the other one has to give up a Pro Bowler who's got at
okay.
least 2 Pro Bowls.
Okay.
Or if it's players, it's got to be 2 guys that were both first round picks that are
NFL. You got to get at NFL.
yeah.
Call her at GBG. He'll tighten you up, dude. He'll dial
It's
you
just
in.
it's like, but my point to the whole thing is
Yep. Get it.
31-year-old Steph Diggs got traded for a 2025 second round pick
Hell yeah.
essentially, and they called it a blockbuster. I
Yes,
get
but-
it. He's good. But it was a salary dump is what it was.
Yes, but it's not just where it's not who got traded, it's where he got traded
To,
to. And when you
and
have
with.
a franchise like the Houston Texans who are just ascending, and yes, I'm not necessarily thinking that he's gonna ever put up numbers that he once did, but he is a threat. He is crispy.
He's Steph Diggs.
He's a threat.
Yeah.
And the only unfortunate part is he's a diva. But
But my thing is it was the first time that you had a highly publicized trade,
Well,
which could have been done.
everything's a
by-
blockbuster nowadays.
It could have
Yeah.
been done by NBA
If it's
GMs.
one thing, if it's the first thing to happen in the sports day, it's usually like, holy shit,
Yep.
breaking fucking news.
It's the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
fuel everything.
But I get what you're saying.
But it was a salary dump.
I'll
yeah.
agree.
They took a bigger hit this year so they can free up money next year.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
So-
they paid them all of it, so they don't necessarily have to deal with them
Yeah.
next year too.
Yeah.
So it's a prove it
Yeah.
trade.
Yeah. Oh, and when they got rid of the last 3 years of his contract, I'm like, that is awesome.
It was genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I like it. I like it.
the other thing, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because this year
Yeah.
I'm in a great situation for next week Thursday to watch the NFL draft.
Okay.
My favorite team,
Next week, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Sorry,
Yeah.
2
You're
weeks.
good.
So
You got me half hard. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't get a. So my favorite team is one of those teams this year that is going to have a very boring draft more than likely.
The
More
Packers.
than
There's
likely,
not
yeah.
there's not one position where we're like, if we can go from a 5-win team to a 12-win team if we get
You're
this
not
guy.
the talk of the town.
But the city I live in, the area I live in,
Yeah.
is the talk.
Yeah.
So this is fun for me because
Good.
there's no like emotion. I just like watching the process.
Yeah.
But here's what I hate. People like, we talked about a guy like this earlier before we went on the air, but these idiots who go on their little podcasts
Yeah.
and their little message boards, and they're like, I did a mock draft, and I saw one this morning involving trades.
Yeah.
I saw one this morning with a Viking fan. This Viking fan is not friends of ours because a lot of things. show up
We
on
don't know every Viking
Yeah,
fan
Vikings
out
Twitter,
there.
yeah.
I you know,
They're
because
wild.
this one had the Vikings trading with the Commanders
Yeah.
to get the number 2 pick, where the Vikings took Derek May, but
Drake.
I'm sorry, Drake May,
That's
but
all right. I like Derek.
but
It's a
Yeah.
white name.
but
DeMay.
Jaden Daniels still fell to 11
Sure.
to go to the Redskins.
So wild.
This is so stupid because
Yeah.
you have some out of shape loser
Yeah.
who works from home. These guys work from home.
Oh, yeah.
They live in their basement and they have on Colin Cowherd and Dan Patrick on the background the
Yeah.
entire day. And they hear one thing and they're like,
Oh, I gotta write that.
oh, wait, this
Oh, I gotta
guy,
write that
this guy thinks that Jaden Daniels might drop. He ain't dropping down to 11.
Yeah.
Here's
You know-
the thing, though, is that's what's fun about the NFL draft. Is the three of us are diehard NFL fans,
Yeah.
right? You throw in some fantasy, elevates it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We watch every year, everything. Malik Willis
Yeah.
was not a first round pick. Where was he talked about going? In the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the Steelers, potentially,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We did the twist show when Trey Lance went to San Fran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because who was going to draft Mac or San Fran going to draft?
They were going to draft
Consensus.
Zach Wilson.
No, Mac
Mac
Jones.
Oh, Mac Jones. That's
Still.
right. Yeah, that's right.
But still.
The consensus
Yeah, and they all thought.
was Mac Jones.
Yeah.
So it's like we really, outside of Caleb Williams, I really don't trust anything.
But see, and
Now, do I think Jaden Dan is going to be a 4th round pick?
No.
No.
Yeah.
But do I think the Commanders are dead set on him?
no.
I think JJ McCarthy could go too.
My point of that is whenever anyone does a mock draft, is it always favors their favorite team in an unrealistic way. And I guarantee you, all these people that do this, if you ask them what their favorite movie was, they'd say Draft Day
Oh, sure.
because it's so ridiculously stupid.
And the mocks are ridiculous.
Yeah.
And what's going to hurt the Vikes is they're in a position of weakness
and they're going to give up too much.
because
They can.
everybody knows that they need, Rick Spielman talked about it when Teddy went down
Yeah.
and what he had to pay for a
get
quarterback
to get
to
Bradford.
get Bradford.
Yeah.
He's like, they put us in a position where it's like they knew we needed it and we had to pay king's ransom for whatever we wanted.
And now we're talk of the town. Greggy says this team's the talk of the town. Well, the talk of the town as of a couple days ago is that we might be flopping first with the Atlanta Falcons.
Mike
because
Florio,
of
did you
Yeah,
hear
I
that?
heard that.
And that's wild because that really spices it up. It
Yeah.
muddies the water some more.
So
Yeah.
he talked about it, and I don't remember. He said this would never have been a thing, but something happened last year.
Where there was a swap.
There was a swap.
And that's why.
That's where the precedent is.
Yes.
Okay.
So because you set that precedent last year, as a Vikings front office, why wouldn't it happen this year?
You know,
Yeah.
and it's not a
And-
dramatic, punishment
Yeah.
to go from what are they, 8?
With losing a pick to flipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go back 3 spots,
Yeah.
but it's huge for the
It's
Vikes.
huge.
I don't see it happening. It's,
No, but it's
but
something
it's-
else.
I mean,
And they could announce that the day of the draft.
Yeah.
because
at the
that's when
draft
they did it
pick,
last.
at the draft pick,
Yes.
not the day of the draft when
Yeah.
they're on the clock.
that's the part that I picked up on is they said if there's going to be an announcement made, it wouldn't be made until
Yeah.
that day.
Yeah.
Which
is
I
great.
find, and it's all based literally on Kirk Cousins saying, yeah, I talked with the trainer yesterday.
With Kirk just being himself.
Yeah.
Right. Being transparent, saying how excited he was since the moment he met the weight and conditioning trainer
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Oh, it was the day before.
I
See,
think it was early.
so it was-
early. He had
it
talked
was
to him
during
the week prior.
the tampering period, the 2-day tampering period, but you're only allowed to talk to your agent can only talk to a GM or something.
Right.
So
There's
when
rules.
I mean, it was like
And
some,
every team, most of the teams break them. But
yeah, but most teams don't have their
They don't
press-
come out and say it.
Kirk
In a-
would
at a
say,
press
you know what
conference.
Kirk would say? God is good.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to. For all the Kirk haters, if that happens, what did he do wrong for us? He
Yeah.
came here. everybody that says, "Oh, he didn't get us to the promised land," we don't get a ring.
Yeah.
This organization hasn't been completely successful. They haven't made it. They haven't checked the box. So for Spielman, he was in a pod and he's talking about how Kwesi needs the hit on this QB. And then I tweet out
No
the
shit.
list of Spielman's QB draft picks. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? You got to grow some balls and you got to take your guy. And if you don't get your guy, you take your next guy. And if you don't, you know what I mean? It's
First of
just
all,
the way it is.
Spielman's talked more this week
Oh,
on
man.
podcasts than he ever talked when he was the GM.
Cam Newton.
Well, he's on the
2.0,
NFL.
Dude. It's wild.
He's on Sirius XM, the NFL channel.
Yep.
All the
Because
time.
he's
Oh, is it?
their GM,
Well, of course.
former, which is wild.
You know,
Dude's
he-
jacked. but
He hit a lot too. He built a lot
he
of
hit
great
from time
players.
to time, but once again, you're not dependent on the sprinkles and couple dots that you did hit on. It's about fucking getting there.
The quarterback.
First of
No,
all,
just getting there. Get us there. I don't
That's
care
true.
if it's with who it's with. Get us there.
I'm a Packer fan.
What?
I don't know if you
No
guys knew that.
way.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew this.
Breaking news.
I can
That
smell the fucking Milwaukee's best on you, dude.
was
My-
my,
my
go-to
point
for
is-
years.
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins is not the reason why the Vikings don't have a Super Bowl ring.
of course not.
He is the furthest reason.
Oh yeah.
It's an
And
easy cop out.
and I hate the phrase you just used.
Which one?
We didn't
Milwaukee's
get-
best.
We didn't get him to the promised land. Who the fuck promised you guys anything? Here's the problem.
Well, that's what everybody.
I know. I just hate that phrase.
Well, yeah, every guy. Hey, what are you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna try my best, and the goal is to bring a Super Bowl to Minneapolis.
Oh, like, we gotta,
Take him to the
we gotta
promised
go-
land and then go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like who the fuck said this is promised?
Yeah,
Tell that to But my point that was
it's
Yeah.
all right. Keep going. It's
Okay.
just Mike being unprepared. Not a big deal.
now my
I tried. You saw me turn
All
it
right,
down.
happens.
I think that if I was a Viking fan,
Yeah.
you get what you get, and you just deal
Story
with
of
it.
our life.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
just-
we do.
and
That
you
is
just-
the life of Vikings.
But yet at the same, but go with it. I mean, Mike was just talking
we're gonna
about.
be so excited.
Yeah, Mike was just talking about Teddy. Late first round pick
Yeah.
gets hurt. You overspend to get Bradford.
Yeah.
Who is the quarterback that same year for the Minneapolis Miracle?
Yeah.
Case Keenum.
Catch a case.
Yeah.
Sure.
Keenan was the case that they gave us.
Yeah. So it's like, you know what? Just roll with it.
That's what we do, dude.
Yeah, but I don't think
We
you guys
have
should.
to for years.
Every year.
Yeah, I don't think you should overspend though. This is what I'm saying.
Well, you wouldn't think
Depends
that, but as a
on their-
Vikings fan that's had the
Depends on their
turmoil,
analysis of the quarterback.
that's it.
Yeah.
If they hit, is
They
it an
hit.
overspend?
Right.
No, exactly. Yeah. If they hit, you can give up everything.
It doesn't matter
mean,
if they hit.
The only team that's drafting a quarterback in this draft that is safe from criticism is the number one pick.
Yeah.
Simply because all the other commentators are saying that that's the clear cut number one. So everyone after that, they're in jeopardy of making the wrong decision because even if you take Caleb and he's a bust, okay, well, everybody said he was the best. He was the clear cut decision. So it's not necessarily on the GM because it was a consensus. So it's just wild and there's going to be crazy stuff. And I'm going to have to watch it when I wake up.
And I was so vocal last year when Kirk went down to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
Because of this scenario we got ourselves into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we just didn't sign
We almost did.
your boy
Yeah.
and we played with Jaron Hall and we're just going to play out the
Even
year.
Pasternak,
No,
he flopped. He won with one.
it doesn't matter,
It was
but it
horrible.
still brought
I know. But
it
you know
still
what I
brought
told-
stuff in. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
trying to make this push.
Yeah.
And they shot themselves in the foot because you needed a top 3 pick this year.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. I have a question, Greggy.
Bring it up. Go ahead.
You've been watching the NFL draft much longer than both of us.
Oh, I've been doing the NFL draft longer than Mel Kiper has
Yep. And
Yeah. He
you've
should
been
be
in
out.
fantasy football,
since before the internet.
On
longer
paper.
than
Yep,
us.
on paper.
but roughly we've all been in dynasty
Correct.
the same amount of time.
Yep.
So I know my answer, but I'm interested on your answer. Since dynasty were more heavily invested in your team than just an everyday, every year redraft team, do you get more excited for the NFL draft now in dynasty football than ever before?
100%.
Yeah.
100% because it's what you and I were talking about. I told Mikey when we were waiting for Big Mike to show up and Matt to show up so I have a list right now of, and I'm not going to lie.
Your
it's my
cue.
cue.
Yeah.
And it's not, oh my God, I did this draft
No.
analysis. It's based on what the experts say.
Yep.
And then now after
In your
next,
opinion, you sprinkle in your
beautiful.
yeah. And it's
Yeah.
also based on, what I need.
That's the
You
learning
know,
curve.
And but then it's going to get readjusted
after the draft.
once they are on teams.
Yes.
Because so I'm not going to mention him by name, but I joke about him all the time.
Yep.
There's a guy in our dynasty league who wants to fleece me for HN. And first of all, it ain't happening. But my point is, like, you're not smart. I don't have respect for you because with the third pick in last year's draft, you took a guy who's the size of a seventh grader.
Yeah.
When you had all these other players available. And when you take a wide receiver who doesn't have a quarterback to throw it to him, who the hell, what are you thinking? This isn't just 1 year, hope for lightning in a bottle. This guy can be on your team for the duration of his NFL career.
Sure.
And that's why I love Dynasty so much.
Yeah.
And that's why, honestly, I do Dynasty and I don't do any of the leagues. I do one league with my family. It's free.
Yeah.
And half the people, it's honestly, it's
smart. It's smart.
I do it because I know that I'm not going to get criticized for watching football on Sundays because
Smart.
my wife and daughter have their own teams.
Yeah.
It's
Genius.
If they'll set the lineups, that's a question.
Oh, no,
We'll see. We'll see.
But a fun family league. Those are
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Those. Other than that, I'm not in any other ones. But absolutely, Mike.
yeah, it's different.
I
It's a
do
different
so
strategy.
much more. Like, does this? And it's a lot more. Does this player fit with this scheme? With this team?
Yeah.
Is he going to be around there for a while? Because if you drafted Trey Lance, you could have thought, he might be the greatest player in the world, but right now he's not in good situations.
Correct.
So I don't.
Yeah. Dynasty, baby.
Yeah, you watch it just as more than just a fan.
And you're
Yeah.
looking
Because you're
at depth charts.
You're
Yeah.
invested in these players,
Yes.
where they go, what your draft
The
looks
guy
like.
who's sitting on the bench that doesn't have a spot until a guy gets hurt. Well, those are the rookies that you're kind of looking at, like, oh, he just needs an opportunity.
Exactly.
And we're
Fourth round pick. This guy just needs somebody to go down. Or
Right.
get cut.
yeah,
you
and you've
know?
had your eye on these sleeper guys, so it's not even just the first round is fun,
Yeah.
but then you're waiting to see where some of these guys that you've been, researching
Yeah.
for 6 months pop to.
correct.
Your Tank Dells, your Pukas.
Yep.
And, I drafted Puka at the last pick in the 5th round last year.
Yeah.
I sold him for way too cheap,
Yeah.
but it's like, that's insane.
And that too,
Yeah.
you draft a guy that, let's say, he's best available, and your intention is on that I'm going to move him because I need to fill a hole. Well, then you end up trading Joe Burrow or Puka Nacua for fucking peanuts.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the learning curve, and that's way different than just focusing on wide receiver ones on a snake draft because you don't want
Right.
And that's
correct.
that's the funny thing. Connor asked me. Connor is so intense, 13 years old,
Oh yeah,
so intense into fantasy that he set after week 2, once he figured it out,
yeah,
he set his lineup for the entire season based on bye weeks.
yeah.
So he knew that so worst case scenario, because he actually said to me, he goes, Dad, if I wake up sick one Sunday morning and I sleep till noon, I want to make sure my lineup's at least set.
He'll be calling you from county jail,
Yeah.
like Mike did to his old man. Hey, set my lineup, would ya? Yeah, I can't get to the computer. man.
computer access
Yeah.
here, Pa.
What I find funny too, though, is tell me if this is any different. Because Mike, you do you're in what, 3 dynasty
Oh
leagues?
my God, that's 33. Yeah, he's in a
Dynasty.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm in
he's
a
in
lot.
like 10.
Okay, and then all of your redraft
Oh,
snake
yeah,
leagues.
about 4.
What I find funny
3.
is
Yeah.
when you're doing a redraft league, just regular fantasy, there's one thing you care about on your list of what do I care about before I draft this guy?
Yeah.
And it's never come up for me for dynasty bye weeks.
Yeah, and I
Could
think
not
that's
give two shits.
It's an old
No.
schooler thing.
Yeah.
It's
But-
an old schooler thing.
But yeah, I match my bye weeks up for sure.
In regular redraft.
redraft.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But in dynasty, you don't give a shit.
No.
Yeah. Just 1 year.
Our benches is a lot deeper.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're able to do it. No, bye weeks don't matter in Dynasty.
Yeah.
No.
it's great. It's
So-
good.
Yeah, we got
Cam
to.
Newton. Want to talk about him?
Bring it.
Cam Newton.
Yeah, you
since we
tweeted at him.
touched on Kirk Cousins. Cam Newton was on another pod. There's too many podcasts in this world.
Yeah, we need to get rid of
There's
some.
too many pods.
Yeah,
in
not
world.
this one.
Yeah, we'll stick around. But so Cam Newton said that Kirk Cousins only got his contract and the amount of money because he is a white man, and that Cam Newton is better than Kirk Cousins right now, and he should got that bag. He should have gotten 180. Well, then you go through statistically. Kirk Cousins, 30+ touchdowns, so many seasons. Cam Newton, I don't think he ever had 30 touchdowns in a season.
Mhm.
I'm sure he did.
You know, combined.
He wasn't.
maybe.
He wasn't
Combined-
trash.
What? He was trash.
Cam.
He was what are you talking about?
Cam Newton
Superman?
had 3 good years in the
Yeah.
NFL.
He wasn't.
That's not enough.
I'm
bud.
not saying his career was good. I'm saying when he was at
in
his
college.
he
When
made
was
to
in
the
college, he
Super
was great.
Bowl.
I understand.
When he
With
was
a
in
great
It
team.
doesn't matter, but that's not college. Let's at least give him.
I'm not giving him
What's
shit. He wears
deserved.
scarves and big floppy hats.
I get it. You hate the
Dude's
guy.
a clown.
His point, though, which I agreed with,
Okay, let's hear it.
was he didn't just mention him. He mentioned other players with minimal injuries that didn't get paid like Kirk did with an Achilles injury.
Sorry for your luck. It's called supply and demand. He came
I
up
understand.
on a great
I
year.
understand.
And Cam might not understand that. He might not understand.
It was the
that
perfect
part.
year to be injured,
Yeah,
and
but all
he was it.
You're Kaepernick 2.0. You're
Here's-
gonna have a Nike contract. You'll be in some commercials. You'll have a tied scarf right here, real
Yeah,
nice,
That's
and
not
yeah,
dapper.
be good.
Here's
Did
I
he
thi-
tweet back?
No, not
Okay.
yet. I'm
here,
waiting on
here's
it.
I think part of
We'd love to have
Cam.
you on the show, Cam.
Here's part of the whole Cam Newton to Kirk Cousins comparison.
Yeah.
Most GMs are younger than me. I'm 48 years old.
Yeah.
But those are the guys making the decisions.
Yep.
If you're going to pay someone $180 million, it has nothing to do with skin color. It has to do a lot more with your investment.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins is a safe investment.
Correct.
He's not going to get arrested for drunk
He's not
driving.
gonna run his mouth.
He's not going to run his
Well,
mouth.
He might tell you about the trainer, but
Well,
Yeah.
but
Thank you.
you're
He
not
ran
going to
his
have to
mouth.
worry. But you're not going to have to
Correct.
worry about him getting caught on camera making it rain at a strip club in Atlanta at 3:00 in
or
the morning.
taking a presser after the game and blaming the head coach or the offensive
Exactly.
coordinator, this, that, and the other.
So you ask
Yeah.
yourself, why does he get the bag
yeah,
and someone else doesn't?
Yeah.
Because you don't have to worry about him.
Yeah.
It's the exact same reason why I feel okay leaving Connor at home
sure.
because he's not going to do anything wrong. He's going to sit there and watch TV and
Right.
play on his Xbox.
Yep.
I don't have to worry about him throwing a party.
Yep.
Yeah,
Rager.
so
Not yet.
not yet.
Yeah,
Until I
he's-
teach him the
you know,
ways,
but-
dude.
but,
That'd
you
be
know,
He ain't
awesome.
at the age yet. He is a Bauman.
I'm
Let's
not going
be
to lie to
real
you.
here.
I might have a couple extra cameras
Yeah, I bet you
that no one in
do.
the family knows.
I already
about.
know Greggy's gonna leave him a 6-pack on his 18th birthday. I already know it, dude. Hey, don't tell anybody about
No, honestly,
this. Yeah, I know you won't.
honestly, that kid, he's determined
I
to
know he
never
is.
drink alcohol because he's like, I don't know anybody who. He actually said to me, he goes, I don't know anybody who drinks who kind of
Yeah,
like,
he's young.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
like keep that going.
Yeah, let's
you know.
keep it. Oh my god.
So
So
if you're transparent about your story, which you are too, I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
hope our kids have more caution.
yes,
I have friends with kids who are in the same boat as us.
Yep.
And I've heard, I won't put names out there, but I've heard said kid be like, I'm never because of,
yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
So-
and he does say, well, look at you, Dad.
Well, it's in his blood.
it's
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah,
It's if
yeah,
you
yeah.
if you think it's got nothing to do with family, think again.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
just
Just look down the family tree.
I was just say, Mike and I don't have to go further than a generation.
Yeah, just
It
one.
happens, man. It's wild. It's
So-
crazy.
Off the sports topic,
All right.
this bothers me.
Ooh, he doesn't hate it.
Oh, old ass motherfucker.
Bother.
So-
Yeah. What doesn't, Greg?
So there is a new law that was passed in Minnesota
Okay.
or Minneapolis and St. Paul,
Okay.
where they were forcing Uber and Lyft drivers
Yep. Right
to
there.
rideshare program to make a minimum wage.
Yep.
And Uber and Lyft said, "Go pound sand.
Yep.
We're leaving.
Yeah. We'll pull out.
We'll pull out."
Yep.
Now, here's the problem. Now, by the way, this was supposed to go into effect on May 1st. Now
Yeah.
they've pushed it back to July 1st.
City council.
And it's going to get it's eventually going to get thrown out,
Most
and it's
likely, yeah.
not going to happen because it is so stupid. Because here's my thing: the last time I checked, and I've taken plenty of Ubers,
Correct.
there has never been anyone in the passenger seat of that Uber next to the driver with a gun pointed at him,
Correct.
saying you have to drive for this amount of money.
Correct.
The problem I have with this is back when I was in high school or early in college, there was something going on over in the Middle East called, the Persian Gulf War.
Jesus, you're old as
And the problem I had with that is that there were moms and grandmas all over protesting, saying things like, send my baby
Bring him
home,
back.
bring him home. It's like, wait a second. Last time I checked, we haven't had a draft since Vietnam. These young men and young women are voluntarily joining the military for whatever reason. Maybe they want the discipline. Maybe they want the money with the art, with all of the college benefits.
Yeah.
Whatever their reason is, they voluntarily chose to do this. Just like Uber and Lyft drivers voluntarily say, I'm going to go in my car. I'm going to turn this app on. I'm going to pick people up for the price that was determined.
Yeah.
Stop government deciding for us what we can and can't do and how we want and don't want to earn money within the law. These people are not trying to sell black tar heroin and sex at the same time on the street corner. They're abiding within the law.
The best part about all of this is that every time Minneapolis prides themselves on constantly trying to raise the minimum wage, and it's like, you're not understanding that every time you raise a minimum wage for a company that primarily pays minimum wage employees, all they're doing is raising the prices of their goods and services to combat the raise in minimum wage.
Yeah.
So then you're going to have Lyfts and Ubers that are $20 more, and people are going to, people that come to Minneapolis, or if you want to have the Super Bowl again, or if you want to have the Final Four, they're going to revert and they're going to go other places to have those where they have rideshare at a reasonable price.
It's just more progressive.
It's pushing
bullshit.
It's
from
pushing
the libs.
shit out.
Yeah.
And that's why they're already saying that when they do build another stadium or whatever, it's not going to be in the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
It's going to be outskirts.
Yeah, they're already,
Nobody wants to go there.
yeah, they're already talking because they got to. There's so much involved in the Target Center because you have the the Lynx, the Timberwolves. You have all this. You have high school sports playing there, all that stuff.
Field right across the street.
Yeah. So really, the biggest issue right now, because the joke is always, well, why don't you just put it on that land in Arden Hills that you were going to put US Bank Stadium on, or Eden Prairie had
was in the
Canterbury. The problem with that is there's not enough hotel infrastructure in that area.
Yeah, but I get it.
So
the best thing about Target Field is you literally don't have to walk a foot on a sidewalk in downtown Minneapolis.
Yeah, you can just stay in the Skyway.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, and not even the Skyway. Their parking lot.
Oh yeah.
One of the ramps walks you right into the field.
Yeah.
Like when Kimley and I went, it's like we're there.
Yeah, and I love because when you're in that lot A, that parking lot A, you can spit yourself out right on the 394.
Right.
But
so you have to take side roads.
And now any team that comes that stays overnight and doesn't leave when they play the Vikings, they stay at Vikings Lakes.
Yeah.
Right at TCO and Egan.
Yeah.
So it's like that's not far away.
I'm talking more for
I get it.
For fans.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It pisses me off when the government comes in and says, no, we know what's better for you. Plus, by the way, Matt, there are two separate terms, and this is thank you for bringing up another pet peeve.
I like it.
There are two separate terms, two separate things. Minimum wage, living wage.
Sure.
No one in the history of the world ever said, if we pay you minimum wage, you should be able, with that money, to live a normal lifestyle. That is never. Minimum wage jobs were designed for part-time employees, younger kids that are also going to school, maybe a stay-at-home mom who can take on a couple hours a night or on a weekend, or elderly people who can't work a full shift. If you are on social media or whatever complaining that you have a minimum wage job and you do not make enough money,
you haven't been there long enough.
You haven't been there long enough, and B,
they're going to give you raises. And you're not going to be on
that. And B, you're not doing enough to earn more.
Where are they paying minimum wage outside of a restaurant? This is unbelievable.
You're on fire, dude. You're on fire.
Oh,
we're hot and heavy. Exactly. Where are you paying minimum wage? To only places that are
fast food restaurants,
ride share, things of that, because they're making tips. Anywhere where you're making tips on top of your wage, that's what's going on.
Well, and I mean,
I finished the volume. It's good.
So if you're working at Taco Bell and you're 18 years old, And
entry level.
yes.
You're starting at $10.
you're also at the time you're a senior in high school. You know what you're also not doing?
paying rent.
Paying a mortgage,
yeah.
probably not paying car insurance, or you're part of your parents' program, health insurance, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It is not designed for you to sustain a lifestyle with a family. If that's all you can do, I'm not going to play revisionist history and say you should have made better decisions in your life. I'm
Sure.
saying work harder to get a better job.
But those places, Taco Bell, you go to Taco Bell right now and they're paying more than minimum wage.
Not only that,
Gas station.
Jordan makes $13 an hour.
I know.
working
That's
at-
not minimum wage.
that's what
I know.
I'm saying.
I'm
That's
saying
what
I know.
Okay.
I'm saying that he does just
You
fine
can-
for an 18.
But that's what I said. Outside of
Yes.
a restaurant
Yes.
Yeah.
where
And
they
it's
really
just
paying
more-
you. What is the minimum wage?
Yes.
9?
7.25.
No, it went up.
It went up.
Okay, maybe then it's
but
9.
It's
still.
like 9 something.
But all that it's saying is that if you're not satisfied with what you have in this life, try to get something else. And
'Cause
I get
that's-
there's special circumstances. I understand, but I know people that get paid minimum wage, and guess what? They have 2 minimum wage jobs
Yeah.
because they understand.
And
that
what do you
that's
do?
just they're more comfortable in that career, and that's what they want to do.
And Matt and I talk about this all
Yeah.
the time because I vent with my job right now. I don't make
Sure.
$1 billion.
Right.
I make a very respectable base pay.
Entry level. Well,
Ba-
entry for your position.
For my position.
Yes.
The idea is after a year of grinding, and you guys know, you guys talk to me during the day. You know how much I grind during the day.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna a year from now on Fridays, like the weather we had yesterday. My boss expects me to text him in the morning and say, "Going to be on the golf course today."
Yeah.
But you have to put in that grind in order to get to that part. The problem with society now is no one wants to put in the grind.
Well,
They want
yeah.
someone wants to because I'm not going to get too specific, but there are people who look at my job and they want what I could have a year from now
Immediately.
without doing the grind.
Yeah,
Right.
because people were
And that's
sitting at
more of
home.
that's more generational than people.
Yeah.
Well, kind of, but then you also have all walks of life that were sitting at home for 2 years, getting money deposited in their account, told them stay home.
Yeah.
We don't want you to go out. Work from home.
Yeah.
It's great. Work from home, please.
Yeah.
Well, what happens to cities that used to be the commute, that used to house all these business skyscrapers for all these companies?
Yeah.
Well, now they're all working from home. So what happens to that community?
Yeah.
Falls to the waistline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
Well,
it's
that's
great.
exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, and then they can buy it back for cheap and then gentrify
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
And
big
have you
picture,
and have you dependent?
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
100%. What's minimum wage in Minneapolis?
I think it's 10.
I'm going to look
I
it
think
up.
it's 10.
I
right
thought
now.
I thought they raised it to like 20.
I don't think so.
Why don't you guys?
You got a nice hat on. You tuned into any of the Masters.
Well, yeah, I wore this and yeah, it's my
I knew you
master's.
did, that's why I was
Yeah, it's my master's hat. Have I tuned into any?
not yet.
The Masters was on
Okay.
at the bar when I was working.
Okay, that's good. Did you see Mrs. Gretzky? Did you see
No.
her?
What the fuck?
God.
In 2024, the minimum wage across the city of Minneapolis will rise to $15.57.
Yep.
Wow.
That's why I asked, because that's you go get a serving job there, you're making 15 plus tips.
Yeah, but
I make 12 plus tips,
Yeah.
but I got a couple raises
Yeah.
off the minimum wage.
but that's what I'm saying. That's why you're seeing all of these restaurants, these institutions that have been in downtown for over 100 years,
Settles.
closing their doors and going out to St. Louis Park or other places which are still diverse, still have culture, but they don't have to deal with the regulations that they're getting put on them because it's mind-blowing.
Mhm.
It's mind-blowing when you see what governments pay for things that they are quote unquote improvements, improvements in the community. And it's like, where is all this money going?
Yeah.
Where's it going?
By the way, I cut you off. You were talking about the Masters.
Oh,
Let me ask you a question.
what?
Both of you guys, because you guys come from different
Well,
walk.
neither of us are golfers.
Yeah, but you guys have
Well, I'm
different.
more of a
You
golfer.
guys
than
have different.
I own clubs.
You guys are living different lifestyles right now.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler, leading
Scotty.
right now.
Go.
Number one golfer in the
Yeah.
world, hands down.
Yeah.
He's the pick to win. If you have one
Yeah.
pick, you're going to pick
He's
him.
picked to win everything right now. He's hot.
His
Yeah.
his wife is also due to give birth at any second.
That's fine.
So let me ask you this.
Which
Green
kid? Which
jacket,
kid?
gold jacket. I don't give a shit. Dude.
I don't know,
I'm staying.
but the
I'm
talk
hitting the ball.
the talk yesterday was if you're on the back nine
Yep.
and you're leading by one stroke, and you get the message, she's in labor.
That's fine. It's gonna take a day anyway. Dude.
No, let's make the scenario realistic.
All right.
Okay.
You have two choices.
Okay.
You can either win the Masters or be there for the birth of your child.
It's not
Win the
even a.
Masters.
Please tell me that you agree with me, Mike. Go ahead, give me your answer. As a parent,
I'm gonna win the Masters.
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Yeah. What
You
do
know-
you mean?
Because, and here's the thing, what I have learned from listening to everyone talk about this
Yeah.
and then talking to people that I care about, it comes down to two things. Number one is, if you have kids or not, because I have two kids, I feel like I was there as much as a father could be.
Yeah, but you're.
And I look back at it now 15 and 13 years later and think, you know what I would really like? An extra $15 million in my
Yeah.
bank account
Right.
that I would have gotten for winning and the endorsements.
Yeah.
Trust me, now my ex-wife, but my kids right now, you know what they'd like to see more than stories of, hey, Dad, what kind of a birth she had?
jacket.
The freaking jacket and the pictures of the trophy and
the
an amazing lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right.
correct.
I think the people who say he needs to be
Criticize,
there
yeah.
are people who don't have kids or people who don't have a supportive spouse.
Right. When you are a professional, anything in sports,
And this is
Yes.
one of the biggest events in golf.
Yeah.
Playing
you
with
know, and
everybody,
it's not the
you
first
know?
time we've ever heard this. Super Bowls and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. It's like, yeah, no, this is my job. This what not only supports us, supports our kids, but it's going to support
The
their
legacy.
kids
Yeah.
the legacy.
and their kids.
Yeah.
And if you're a professional golfer, there's no bigger stage than the Masters.
Yeah.
because you're playing with the.
There isn't.
the
And I'm not
guys.
criticizing anyone who says I would be there, blah, blah, blah.
And
It's the
he
thing-
would probably end up being there. Golf doesn't go into the night. I guarantee if she goes into labor during the day.
Yeah, but you understand my
yeah,
scenario.
you're just
but
saying
you
it-
know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
Greg.
But here's the thing:
Yeah.
why
You know what I mean?
criticize if he doesn't? Because if he were to leave and do it and go to be with his kids,
Oh, dude.
but I personally wouldn't. I'd commend him.
Yeah.
Sure, either
Good for
way.
you, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
why go the other way with it?
Yeah.
That's what he does for a living.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's different if I'm slanging drinks at the depot.
I was just going to say,
you know?
if my wife is in labor and I can comfortably go up to my boss and say, hey, it's coming. I got to go.
Oh, you would because you're trading a $200 day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
$200 day, and I get it.
Yeah.
Right.
Any excuse for me to miss work where my boss can't say shit
Yeah. Absolutely.
and my bank account isn't insufficient,
yeah.
Right.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Why
Absolutely.
wouldn't I go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh, I
find
get
it,
it.
I find it funny when that comes up all the time in sports, Super Bowl, this, that.
Yeah.
And then you always hear like the seasoned guys who have 2 or 3 kids, they planned when the kid was going to be born,
Oh,
because it's like if you have someone who's like a Hall of Fame player, I guarantee you none of their kids' birthdays are in January, February.
And I guarantee you, the first doctor's appointment, they got that estimated due date, and they looked at the fucking calendar, and he goes,
He's like,
"Gosh
yeah,
darn,
right
Yeah.
around the Masters.
Masters
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
dude. We're looking at April."
But
Yeah.
they're golfing every weekend.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
You know,
I
a
mean, he's
tournament.
golfing, but yeah,
It ain't the Masters.
Yeah.
That's for
I love
sure.
it, Greg.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
good.
Got a lot of stuff off my
I
off my
bet.
plate.
This is going to be an
Man, this is
expensive.
therapy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be an expensive
I'll
show
invoice
for you.
it. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good.
Just I
stuff.
feel cleansed.
good. You should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
What do
it's
you got? Now, Mikey, what do you got? You got the kids.
Yep.
oh they're at Kim's.
No, they're at home.
Attaboy.
Not alone.
Oh.
Obviously.
I was like, Jesus, fuck. I was like, see, I was like,
Well,
cover the
Greg
mic,
said it's
dude.
okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I mean, okay.
Connor is about, he's probably just doing sit-ups and push-ups.
Okay,
but
if Mike told, because Mike has the thing I love about Mike is the kids have the technology, the iPads and stuff,
Yeah.
but they're only allowed to use it when Mike lets them.
Yep.
They're not,
Oh yeah.
Uncle iPad and Aunt iPad that, so Mike only lets the kids use the iPad, but when they do get that opportunity,
It's a wrap.
they're focused on it. So all Mike had to do this morning was say to the kids, here, why don't you play with your iPads for a little bit, sneak out the back door,
I'm gonna go
come
to the
back 2
bathroom.
hours later.
Don't open the door.
Yeah, they would have never known he was gone.
You're good. I'll buy you a
The
toy
thing
when I get
is
home.
that's very true for Parker. Not for Layla.
With Layla,
Yeah,
I
she'll
can't.
call,
She could hear.
she'll call.
She called on my
Yeah.
10 minutes after I left and said,
Yeah.
"Well, what time are you going to be back?" I said, "Well, it'll probably be 3 out. Let's shoot a little higher, 3 out. Well, you didn't tell me that. She does not play when it comes to me
No.
and leaving. And
Even you just working out.
yeah, she doesn't like it.
I'll be gone for a half
When
hour.
she gets married
At all.
someday, she's gonna find some guy and make him such a wonderful
You
wife.
better be so nice to that guy, dude, because he's gonna put up with.
Oof.
He's
God.
this guy's gonna be whipped. You ever?
That's what I'm saying. Mike better be nice. Hey, man.
I'm trying
I
to think-
appreciate you taking Layla
Okay.
under your wing, dude.
Napoleon Napoleon Dynamite.
You're in for it, bud.
Oh, bud.
The not Uncle Rico, the
Okay.
other one with the glasses, the nerd who that yeah.
Which one?
The other
Napoleon?
uncle?
The other uncle,
I've just been
Oh,
chatting
the
with hot
one- the
babes
one-
online all
the
day.
one who
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
talk and scared of his own cello. That's the type of guy that Layla's gonna marry.
Oh no.
Someone
way.
that she can just control.
She's gonna end up marrying somebody older than Mike. Watch. Dude.
No.
Watch,
With
dude.
some money.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, Daddy, I'm gonna take care of us.
Yeah.
Watch.
I
This
got
guy's
you.
Gonna be off. He's
She's
be
gonna marry
dead in
some
3 years.
guy who graduated top of his class as an engineer. And they're gonna be on their first date, and he's gonna be like, "Well, I gotta be honest with you, 22 years old." He's gonna be like, "I've never really had a girlfriend before," and she's gonna be like,
Yeah.
"I got one."
Yeah, let me take you to your first Viking game.
Yeah, let me
Here,
just
I got
control
season
every
tickets.
decision you
Yeah.
make from now on.
You
Yeah,
ever
I'm,
watch football? She's the guy. What?
that girl has more street smarts than a lot of grown
Oh,
adults
yeah.
that I know.
Which
Yep.
can you just imagine, like her dating a guy, and he'd be like, "Well, my favorite food is spaghetti." She'll be like, "No, it's chicken now."
Yeah,
And he's
it
gonna be like-
was.
yeah, he's gonna be like, "Okay, well, I guess my favorite food's chicken now."
Oh, kids,
And
man.
you'll be cooking it.
Yeah.
kids wild. and
Whereas
crazy.
Parker's gonna have like a wife, and they're gonna be like the type of people who dress in matching pajamas on
No, they'll
Christmas
be going to
morning.
church
He'll
every
be the
Sunday,
best
yeah.
husband.
Yeah, they'll have 4 kids, and it'll be exactly what they wanted at each time. They're like, "We could really go for a girl right now." They'll have a girl.
And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, Parker's phone will start ringing, and his wife, "Who is it?" "Oh, it's Layla again. I'm not going to answer it. You should. The Lord wants you to answer, Parker. My dad wouldn't want me to. She's got a man. She can
Yeah.
figure it out. And then
Yeah.
he'll go take off his pink button up, and he'll go freaking park a squat, dude. I pray for both of you and your kids. God dang it. They keep me up at night, and I can't imagine what they do to you guys.
Oh,
Oh, boy. What else you got? Anything, Mikey?
nope.
Good?
What's on the schedule for the rest of the day?
He's got kids, so
It's gonna be 70 something.
And that's what I'm saying. It's
So
gonna be
we
nice
went
out.
to the park last night. They every time we go to the park, we have to play tag.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
They're kids.
I'd play tag, too.
So we're playing tag. Then there's a few other kids, and they're kind of
See what's up. You want to get in on this?
Yeah.
I'm the fun dad.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Wow.
So I'm not just sitting on the sidelines like you guys go play at the park.
Yeah, I'll
Like,
be reading the paper.
yeah. No, like the other 2 moms of their kids that were there.
Of course,
Yeah.
They're chatting it up. They're like, go play.
Yeah.
And so these kids see, me and the kids playing. And then they're like, can we get in on this? It's like, sure, let's get
Hell
in on it.
yeah.
But then it goes from like you're it to 8 kids
All right.
attacking dad.
Yeah.
I tell you what, my ankle was a little tight last night because I'm juking these 6-year-old.
Well, hell
kids.
yeah.
They're coming at me. I'm waiting. I'm spinning off of them. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't play out there. So they want to go back. They think these kids are going to be there again.
Have you ever
You
had a,
saying stuff like this really stresses me out. Why does it stress me out?
I don't know.
Because health insurance comes into play with things.
Oh,
like this,
yeah,
okay.
that's true.
And you got to be mindful, Mikey. These are the days. You are young. You're right. You're in
See,
shape.
it's funny.
but I think of shit like this.
You think
and
of
it
shit like
worries
this?
me, man.
And when he was just telling that story, my first thought was Billy Madison playing dodgeball.
Yeah.
That's what I think when I hear Mike's playing with the kids. Like you're just whack. I'm thinking it's like I'm juke. When you said I'm juking a kid, my
Yeah,
first
that's
thought
what I
was
heard.
he just Derrick Henry sip on the
Yeah.
6-year-old.
Have you ever seen Kicking and Screaming with Will?
Oh
my God,
that's
it's
what
great.
he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my.
Hey, go get me a juice box. Say bye to juice box. Bye
Kickball,
juice
dude,
box.
Hey, just to let you know, we do have a spot opening up on our kickball team this year. I know a lot of your team is retiring. You're more than welcome
No.
to come on over to join the
I think I'm
squad.
coming back.
Don't let
Are you?
I think I'm coming back.
no, Greg, you won't even be there. I promise you.
Oh, no.
He'll say that. He won't show up.
Well,
It's
Greg,
too far of a drive.
it isn't, because here's the
He
thing.
never repaired his meniscus. bud.
Here's
This
the
guy
thing.
is
You don't
not
repair meniscus, you just let it heal.
No.
So here's the thing, though. So Greggy, as we touched earlier, he's getting old.
Little up, yeah,
Up?
yeah.
He's been old since we started the show, dude. All right.
Year one of this sober kickball tournament,
Yeah.
we win the championship.
Yes. And
Matt's
that's what
gotta-
tore his
Matt's
meniscus.
gotta leave
No,
early.
he didn't.
Yeah.
Matt's got to leave early, but here's the
Had
thing
to.
that nobody saw coming. Greg
Yeah. Could pitch.
was the MVP
All right.
of the championship run. He was, and anybody there will admit it.
Yeah.
It wasn't his pitching.
It was his
He
farewell
had-
tour. That's what
he
it
had
was.
great kicks, but here's the thing. Greg was on IR year 2.
Yep.
Greg had to sit there and watch.
He didn't. He didn't
As
come.
that team that he was the MVP for, we Tyree killed him,
Yep.
and we won again.
But
Yep.
he didn't come.
So now,
He
but
didn't
that's
come.
the thing.
They don't need me.
I know they don't.
Is
That's
now
what I'm
he
saying.
wants.
Stay home,
Now
man.
he
Back.
wants to come back.
Oh, see, Cam
That-
Newton.
that's my
this
whole
is the
point.
Cam Newton shit.
That's my whole point. Is
Yeah.
he stayed at home with the idea of I carried that team.
Yes.
Yeah,
and now
I
they
wanna-
They
won.
can't win it
This
without
is
me.
Cam. God.
And we won it without him, and he
You are
wants
what you
he
eat.
wants to Tom Brady and
Me-
come back.
Remember in Varsity Blues when Coach looked at
Yeah.
what
Bubba?
them said? No, when he looked at
Dawson's Creek?
the quarterback.
Yeah. Okay.
No, not
The injured one?
Paul
Lance
Walker.
Hubbard.
Yeah.
Lance Hubbard. And he goes, he just praying we'll lose so he can plead missing link.
Yeah.
I wanted to be missing link.
Right.
I wanted that team to finish in second
Yes.
because I still want. I wanted to be. I wanted to be just
I
the
know.
one missing piece. So now I got to come back.
Oh yeah, and hurt yourself. Put
God, yeah.
yourself.
If I'm going out with. I'm blowing my knee out. I'm going.
Well,
I'm
and the
blown.
best
It's
part
already
of
there,
it too is
Greg.
it is like a movie. Is we faced them with you,
Yep.
we faced them without you,
Yep.
and took them again.
Yeah, it
and
was great. Great
we
championship.
oh
All
god,
the other
yeah,
teams shouldn't just show up. We should just play a best of fucking 3.
it's great.
It would be
But the
better. You
thing
could sell
is-
tickets to that.
Is it's gonna be us again.
Yeah.
And the
Of
thing
course it
is
will.
we won year 1
Doesn't
the
matter.
same way we won year 2.
Yeah.
Defense.
Yeah. Yeah. It was honestly.
And
I
I
know.
pitched year 2.
I know that you, Jimmy, everyone was Greg was MVP. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
What really was the thing was when you moved people around
This
Yeah.
is
in that
fucking
second game.
horseshit.
I went from
It
first
Nobody
is.
base.
wants to listen to this dog shit.
It was-
No,
it
it
was
was
worse.
my
This is
managerial skills.
blasphemy.
It was
Our fans do
The-
not.
this-
Oh,
want
I
to
don't
listen.
care. This is our
This
show.
is a documentary.
Talk
This-
about whatever I
The
want.
secret weapon was moving Seth into that roamer position. You put a 6'6" guy out there, that guy's grabbing everything.
Did you hear who's retiring though from our team?
Who? I did not hear.
Guy that everybody shamed last year for
Nate.
Duhlmeyer?
He's out.
Why?
Well, people are mean. Bullying.
That's why
He's not
quitting?
gonna. No, he's saying he's too old.
Oh.
Well,
That's the show. Cut it. Just click it. Just click it.
all right.
Just click it.
We're not coming back from that.